Oklahoma City Police Chief Bill City, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
When you first heard about this, your officers obviously responded. Were you surprised that this had happened?
Yeah, because it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You're very surprised, and I think it does. We see a lot of things in law enforcement, but it's shocking when something like this happens because it doesn't happen very often.
Reviewing this case and doing some research here, it seems to me that there were a lot of things that went wrong here. And first of all, we're told that neighbors had voiced concerns. They had called animal control about these particular animals that they had gotten out before. They weren't well controlled within their gates, within their fences. Animal welfare had gone out there, but they weren't able to find anything. At what point do you call police? Because clearly people were concerned about the aggressiveness of these dogs. At what point do you call 911 and say, I'm worried for my safety?
Right. Well, I mean, if any time that you're worried for your safety and the animals are out, we want you to call 911. And we have to make a decision based on the information that we get as to whether or not we transfer that information. We always transfer it to animal welfare, but whether or not we send officers out. If we feel like the situation dictates where the dogs or the animals are a significant immediate threat, then we always send officers out. In many cases, the dogs aren't there by the time we get out. That's just the nature of those types of calls. But we want people to call 911 if there's some dogs they feel really threatened by.
As an animal lover and a dog owner, I hate to ask this next question. Do you have the right to shoot someone else's dog, someone's pet?
Anytime there's a threat either to your animal or to yourself, you have a right to defend yourself. And it's one of those deals. I just have to say yes. I mean, if I was in a case where another dog was attacking my animal or my pet or myself, you just have to be careful because a lot of times it's very hard to actually hit an animal if they are attacking. But if they're attacking you, we allow our officers to do it. Our officers do that in quite a few cases where they're attacked by large animals.
So legally, you are protected. If I have to go to court and say, I shot this dog dead, but I was scared for my life, legally I'm protected to do that.
Absolutely. If any time you feel like an animal is threatening you, or even your own pet or something like that, you have a right to protect that.
Also wanted to ask you, because you have to have training and a permit to have a gun. You have training and a permit to drive a car. These are potentially deadly weapons, a car, a gun. Animals, dogs can be deadly. Yes. Should you have to have a permit or types of training to deal with deadly animals, to own these types of animals?
Well, a permit to own the animals?
Sure. I mean,
yeah,
you wouldn't
I understand what you're saying. I didn't understand
what
you're saying at first, but yeah. I mean, that's a question. I mean, I know that at one point Oklahoma City tried to pass an ordinance in reference to the types of animals. Well, the state Supreme Court has said that you can't restrict, you can't have restrictions on a breed. And that's really based off state law. State law is the one that kind of defines that and kind of preempts cities from being able to have those ordinances. So state law would have to change for us to be able to do anything, for the cities to do anything in reference to a specific breed.
So if the city at this point can't come out and say you can't have any German Shepherds, you can't have any Pit Bulls, you can't have any Yorkies or whatever, at this point that's not allowed? That's not allowed. What about HOAs, homeowners, particular neighborhoods?
Homeowner associations, they probably could restrict that based on their association, but that's a legal question. I just really can't answer that.
Want to get to what happened next in this case. Unfortunately, those dogs got out again. The neighbors had already voiced their concerns. The animal welfare said they weren't able to find these dogs. This poor woman is out walking her own dog. She's attacked. What would you recommend? Are you recommending that people arm themselves when they go for a walk? Should you be walking with mace, a stun gun, taser, knife, a pistol? I mean, what would you recommend? We've had a lot of people concerned about this after hearing about this case.
Right. You know, if you're gonna arm yourself with a firearm and you're gonna go leave your home, you have to have a carry permit. Right. So I mean, you can have a firearm in your home, and of course, if something's going on outside, you really would have the right to use that if you were trying to protect somebody. You're not going to get filed on for that. But if you're going to go out and walk and carry a firearm, you have to have that permit. Carrying a stick, carrying something that could defend yourself to a certain extent. But if you have animals as aggressive as you had these animals, there's not much that's going to protect you, even mace, and short of a firearm. And even when the officers respond, I mean, if you really look at it, the officers had to fire quite a few rounds to even stop the dogs. It did not initially put them down. They were pretty aggressive. So these are types of animals that, regardless of what you have, are extremely aggressive.
One even had to be stopped using the officer's vehicle. They had to hit it with the car. That's how aggressive these things were. I want to talk about what happens next. We are told that these owners were out of town at the time these vicious dogs got out. What happens for them? Are they held responsible?
Well, you actually, we actually had a female living in the house or in the house at the time of the incident.
So they weren't out of town?
Well, the owner of the dogs were. What the information we have right now is that his girlfriend was actually there and present at the house at the time of this incident. We know that the dogs had food and water. We know the dogs that the owner was out of state. He's not back in state at this point yet. We have not interviewed him. We've requested an interview. Both parties have obviously, have requested to have attorneys.
Sure.
So we want to interview the owner of the dogs, and as soon as he gets back into town, then we're gonna do that. We hope we have that done by this week.
But will
next week.
The woman who was there at home at the time, who maybe left the gate open or they weren't chained up, whatever it was, are you legally held responsible if your dog gets out, or if you were supposed to be caring for an animal gets out and mauls somebody to death?
Absolutely. I think you are responsible for, if you have animals, regardless of what type of animal, you have to make sure that they're contained. You can't allow dogs in Oklahoma City to even be off of a leash if you have them out walking them. They have to be contained. So if you're not there, you have to make sure that they're secure.